नक्षत्रं भवति चित्रं कर्म यदस्य मेधस्सरव्यै सदमानं भवति सदा यः पुरुषस्येन्द्रिय आयुष्येन्द्रिये प्रविदिष्टति
On behalf of the Hindu Society of Victoria, I'm extremely honored, privileged, and fortunate to introduce our chief guest, the Prime Minister of Australia, the Honourable Morrison, and other distinguished visiting the biggest temple in Australia, our Sri Shiva Vishnu temple. Joining with the Prime Minister this afternoon, Assistant Minister for Custom, Community Safety and Multicultural Affairs, the Member for Latrobe, Honourable Jason Wood MP, and the Senator David Wan, who is a Liberal Party Senator for Victoria. We are also incredibly pleased to be able to welcome those of you who have been with HSP Hindu Society Victoria for a long time now, as well as those new serving this Sri Shiva Vishnu temple. We also welcome the other visitors who are visiting this afternoon. Please enjoy the company of our Prime Minister and the other distinguished guests. We start our program with a devotional song sung by Hindu Society of Victoria, Hindu Religious School students, children. Thank you. Now I call upon the President of the Hindu Society of Victoria, Mr. Rangarajan Balasubramaniam, for the welcome speech.
I would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we meet today and pay respect to their elders, past and present. I would like to welcome Prime Minister Honorable Scott Morrison for visiting our temple today, as well as Assistant Minister Jason Wood and Senator David Mann. It is a pleasure to host you today at Shiva Vishnu Temple and welcome you to our community. The Hindu Society of Victoria first started planning for a Hindu temple in Melbourne in the mid-1980s, and the construction began in 1988. On May 22, 1994, 27 years ago this week, the temple was formally opened and consecrated according to our tradition. Prime Minister and other honored guests, what you see today is the outcome of collective effort of our community for over 30 years. We are primarily a migrant community of Hindus who settled in Australia from India, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Malaysia, and across the world. Today, Shiva Vishnu Temple is the largest Hindu temple in Australia. This is the culmination of years of hard work and prayers. Our community has provided the financial resources and countless hours of volunteering and hard work to keep this temple running and to build it into what it is today. The temple is not just large in terms of its physical size. All of the major Hindu gods and goddesses are represented here. The rituals that are performed in this temple were handed down to us centuries ago, and we take pride in maintaining those great traditions. For our temple, For a Hindu, a temple is not just a place for prayers and spiritual development. It's also a source of community and a place for all of us to get gathered together. Although this is a Hindu temple, this space is open to all. We are all proud of the fact that we live in a multicultural Australia and we welcome everyone's participation in our cultural and religious events. Of the many festivals and cultural events that take place here each year, Diwali, the festival of lights, and Holi, the festival of colors, attract thousands of visitors who come here to enjoy the festivities. The central practice of Hinduism is dana, or charity and helping others. Last year, during the height of COVID-19 pandemic, the Hindu Society of Victoria provided groceries and food for international students and other families who were struggling. On festival days, we provide free food to everyone who visits this temple. One of our long-term aims is to expand this activity to non-festival days as well. We at the temple have been conducting special prayers for the world to have a speedy recovery from the COVID pandemic and to restore normalcy in our day-to-day life. As the Hindu community in Victoria has grown, the temple has also grown also. We have been gradually expanding facilities for our devotees and visitors to ensure that this remains a safe and enjoyable space for everyone who comes here. We are grateful to the federal government for providing us with a safer community grant of 400,000, which helped us install safety lights and CCTV cameras across our complex. This grant has helped us to start constructing security fencing around the temple complex. We are grateful to Assistant Minister Wood for providing a grant for us. At this stage, I would like to also mention Jason Wood and Ranjit have been involved and visited us many number of times. He has been to many number of Hindu temples and he has been keeping up to date us with every requirements of all our communities. We are thankful for his, all the help, support he has given to us till this season. Finally, I would like to conclude by invoking our traditional prayer in Sanskrit, Sarva Jana Sukhino Bhavantu, which means may all be blessed with happiness. Once again, thank you for visiting our temple today, and we hope to see you here again. Thank you very much.
Now, I call upon one of our distinguished guests who does not need any introduction and he has been to our temple before. Minister, the Honourable Jason Wood, MP, to say a few words. Before we speak, let's call upon one of our Vice President, Mr. Vishvavahini, to honour the Minister.
I'm greatly honoured. Namaste, Namaskaram, Vanakkam, Sasrokar. It's a great honour for me to be here today with the Prime Minister of Australia, Scott Morrison, and I know how excited he is bring about coming to this event. So we must first of all acknowledge the traditional owners of our land, the elders past and present, and also Senator David Van, who's your Victorian Senator and represents you locally here. Also, can I thank the priests for their blessings of the Shiva Vishnu temple and the great work you have done during the COVID-19 pandemic. I know the guidance and spiritual blessings you've given everyone here. I can't thank you enough. And also the President of the Temple and the Association, Ragnar, and Secretary Ratnam, congratulations for you and your committee for hosting us here today. It's been such a special day. And also the Management Committee of the Hindu Society of Victoria. Can I just thank everyone who was here late last night, also the parents with their children dancing before, the garlands were made last night, and also the drummers. It just made this a very special day. And also to all our presidents from the various Hindu temples here today, the Sikh community, the Buddhist community, Muslim mosque leaders, Gujarati, Tamil, Malawi, and all the leaders of the Indian associations, and also our Sri Lankan leaders. This is a special day to have the Prime Minister here, and can I say we're very proud to have committed funding to make this temple here, this Hindu temple, a safer place. And this was based on a program, the Safer Communities program, after we had those awful terrorist attacks in New Zealand and also in Sri Lanka. But it was the Prime Minister. He said, let's make places of worship and faith safer places to be at. And here today we have so many community groups who have benefited from this program. So Prime Minister, to you, thank you very much for your dedication and passion to the multicultural community and to all places of worship to make them safer places to be. And finally, can I say the Prime Minister is a great friend of multicultural Australia. He's a great friend to India, and he's personally done everything he can to make sure personal protection equipment has been going to our friends and your family in India. And also too, I know he loves cooking, and we're going to have a bit of a cooking event over there, so I thank our chefs. And just finally, Prime Minister, thanks for making the time and effort to come out here today. Can I please welcome the Prime Minister of Australia?
Can I call upon the President to honour the Prime Minister, please?
Thank you very, very much. Well, can I also say thank you, and can I start by acknowledging the Indigenous owners of this land on which we gather today, the Bunurong people, to veterans of Australia from our Defence Forces, and thank you for your service, and serving men and women who are here with us today. Can I say and acknowledge, and say thank you to and acknowledge the priests of the Sri Shiva Vishnu temple. The welcome we received as we went to the temple is something I'll never forget. It's been tremendous to be welcomed in such a way. To the President of the temple, Arango Jane, it's wonderful to have been received by you here today. To Secretary Ratnam, thank you also for all of the work that has been put together to bring us all together in this wonderful way at this magnificent temple and community facility which is here. Can I also acknowledge Hindu, Sikh, and Indian and Sri Lankan community and temple leaders from all around Victoria who are here today, and the leaders of the other faiths who have joined us here as well. It's special to have you joining us. To my Assistant Minister for Customs, Community Safety and Multicultural Affairs, Jason Wood, who's been just such a tremendous friend and supporter of communities right across the country, not just here in Victoria. He's doing an outstanding job, and I know how passionate he is about this. That's why I gave him this job. This is his dream job. And you gave him as well. It's great for you to be joining us here. So namaste, namaskaram, vanakkam, sat sri akal. Friends, it is great to be with you today, and it is with great honour that I join you here. This is the most successful multicultural immigration country in the world today. There's no doubt about it. And that has been achieved by the many millions of people who've come from all over the world, all different faiths, many different beliefs, many different ethnic backgrounds, language groups, and here we all are here in this wonderful country, Australia. When I talk about multiculturalism in Australia, I often talk about it in the context of masala. And you'll think about a masala, a wonderful masala, and how it brings together all the different spices and the smells and the colours, and they all come together. The different tastes, the bitter and the sweet, and then it makes something as you toast it and you smell it, and the aroma is something wonderful. And then you mix it in with your onions and chilies and garlic, and I'm looking forward to the cooking. And it creates something absolutely magnificent. And this is, I think, a wonderful metaphor of what multiculturalism is in this country. And in particular, I think what the Hindu community, Sikh communities, and so many other communities of faith bring to this country. This has been a very difficult time for Australians over the last 18 months, but not just here, as we know, all around the world. And you know, when things are difficult, when people's patience are tested, and when there's suffering, hardship, and going through great difficulty, particularly when you have so many of family and friends who are in other places a long way from where you are, it's tough. And in those times, you don't look to governments, you look to each other. You look to your community, you look to your faith. And it has been your faith, and it has been your community, it has been your friendships that have sustained you so magnificently over the course of this last 18 months. And to you, Mr. President, I thank you for your leadership of the Hindu community here in Victoria. But I'm sure you would agree with me that it's each and every member of that community that makes it so incredibly special, and that they bring something to it. And the way that communities, faith communities like your own, have reached out and supported each other, and the people have been able to find comfort and reassurance in their faith as they've gone through such difficult times. The tragedy that we see in particular in India at the moment and throughout the developing world is so hard. It is so hard to see occurring, and for so many who have family and friends caught up in what is a terrible humanitarian tragedy. All I can say is that Australia will continue to do all we can to provide support to our friends, not just in India, but in other places where we know that we can provide some support. Our consular staff are providing support right now to roughly 11,000 Australians who are registered to return to Australia, including 970 who we know are particularly vulnerable. But over the course of the pandemic, more than 20,000 Australians we've been able to bring home from India. 20,000. And that has included almost 40 facilitated flights to bring Australians who have been in India back home to safety here. But we know it's not just the Australian citizens and residents and direct family members that you have concerns with. I know that your concerns go far broader than that, and they go to the Indian people more broadly. And that is why that Australia has continued to provide support. We've now had our second assistance flight that has gone to India carrying oxygen concentrators and ventilators and personal protection equipment and all of these supports. And as I've spoken to other leaders around the world as well, they have equally been wanting to provide that support. I spoke to Prime Minister Modi just a few weeks ago, just over a week or so ago. And he spoke to me in appreciation of both the prayers and support that is coming from the community here in Australia. He knows the community here in Australia very well, and he speaks fondly of it every time that he and I speak together. and he knows that there's such wonderful support coming back to the Indian nation from right here, whether in Victoria, in New South Wales, Queensland, or wherever the community is gathered together. So we do have great friends here. We will continue to provide that friendship to India and all of those countries that continue to be affected so terribly by what is happening in COVID around the world. But for now, it's for me just simply to say thank you. Thank you for the great support that you've provided to one another. Thank you for the love and care that you've extended, not only to your own family members, but community members, but what is such an integral part of the Hindu faith and so many of the other faiths is you welcome people in. And on those special days, providing that hospitality and that warm welcome. And it doesn't matter whether it is Diwali or Holi or the end of Ramadan or Easter or whatever it happens to be. People of faith in this country draw great strength from that. And I think it's so important that it is such a protected and such part of Australian life. Faith and Australian life go firmly together. And as Prime Minister, this is something that is very dear to me. So the fact that we can come together and meet here safely is very important to me. But it's also very important to me that you keep doing it. Because from that are the bonds of community that continues to carry Australia through what has been a very difficult time. Thank you so much.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we know most things about our Prime Minister, but there are some things in his life which are remarkable, interesting, and I would like to share this with you. How many of you all know that when he was young, he was not interested in politics? And his wife, Jenny, never liked immigration portfolio. But he came into this. He used to voice over singing and a great fan of Tina Reid. Above all, he is an incredible good cook, especially Indian and Sri Lankan food. Going to Sri Lanka, he has fallen in love with Sri Lankan and Indian curry. He can make curry, chapati and samosa. Do you all know? Therefore he learned his nickname Skomosa. We have arranged a special dosa making demonstration by our cafe kitchen chefs. I now would like to invite the Prime Minister to see our demonstration along with the Minister Jason Wood, followed by the afternoon tea. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated so that we will call you all after our guests enjoy the food. Thank you.
That's a good night. Narendra. I know another Narendra. I'd like to would like to try? I'll keep it going. Probably will need to take this off. I'll hold it. Am I allowed to take this off? Yeah, me, hold it. How's Chef Mano? How are you? How are you, Mano? So tell me the secrets. Yeah, nice and thin. Yeah. Oh, okay. Almond and butter made of rice, and black pudding. Yeah. Rice and black lentils. Yeah. You flip it? No. No, you just do one side. One side. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Which is sleeve, that is called push-up.
Ah, okay.
Yes, this is pinch pen.
Yeah. You know what you're doing. How long have you been cooking? How long has he been a chef?
For 30 years?
30 years. 30 years. Okay. Okay, let's see how we go. How much do I fill it up? You want that? You want that? Is that right?
Just one.
One plate. Spread it with this.
Very good.
Enough? Want more? That's enough. So how long we put it on there? 50 minutes? 50 seconds.
40 seconds, then you can just sprinkle it.
Put it there? Put that on there? Right enough? I'll put this on there? I think it might be ready.
Oh!
What do I need to roll?
Roll it. Yeah. This is ready.
There we go.
Here's the beautiful boy.
There we go. No, I think they got it.
Thanks, mate. I think they got a space for that mingle now, if that's okay. So just
Very
maybe.
good. Thank you, Esther. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Our Bharatanatyam, performed by Meena Lankumanan Natyalaya. We thank the Prime Minister, the Honourable Scott Morrison, Minister Honourable Jason Wood, and Senator David Van for taking their valuable time and kindly visiting our temple and making this a historic event. We thank all performers and others who helped us make this event come together to become success. We thank you all for being with us this afternoon. Special thanks to Ranch Pereira for organizing this opportunity. And please forgive me if in excitement we have missed thanking anyone. Please enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you.
Thank you.